Okay, I got kind of asked to do a video about how to make your own hobbles and how to use them. There's plenty of videos out there, I think, on how to train a horse to hobble. So I'm just going to show you how to make homemade hobbles. And also, come closer. Also, if you make your homemade hobbles, like this is a basic lead rope, they're very, very soft at first. If you start using them a lot and you don't wash them, they get real stiff. If you put them in the washing machine with some really good fabric softener, they get softened up again. But just watch, like these here are way too stiff, so I wouldn't put them on a horse because they've been out in the weather, in the dirt, in the rain, and they will rub your horse, especially if you're just teaching them. So make sure you use something soft. These new lead ropes are real soft. They're not cotton. This one's a cotton. A lot of people like using the cotton. I have found these cheap rag lead ropes that you buy with this almost a dog leash clip on them. This one's actually a lunge line. I love these because they're a thicker diameter for when they're on them, and they're very, very soft. So I make a lot of hobbles out of these rag lead ropes because they don't rub them at all. But a standard lead rope, if you notice, you're going to cut the clip off, or you can go find rope like this and buy it by the foot. When you cut the clip off, if you notice, it's about 2 yards plus a little bit, because they generally are about 7 foot. You want about 7 foot of rope from a lead rope or whatever rope you decide to use. You're going to take that lead rope, after you cut the clip off, take the 2 knots, or the 2 ends, and you're going to tie it into a knot. So you're going to have something that looks like this. You took the 2 ends, tied it in a knot, and now you just have a loop. And that's your hobble. So if you'll get me a horse, I'll show you how to use this kind, and then I'll also show you the leather hobbles, which is what I keep on my saddle. But I don't recommend using them on a horse that's not trained to hobble yet, because they're shorter, they take longer to put on, they take longer to get off. This kind is real easy to get on and off, and you can get them out of a situation a lot faster. So bring him out here. This horse just recently learned to hobble, so we'll see if he bounces around a little bit. But you have your hobbles. You're basically going to double it, but you're going to get your horse's leg. That's not what I wanted. And you've got it around that leg, and then you're going to put it together and just twist it however many times you feel is good, but you have to have enough slack to go around the other leg. And here's your knot, here's the loop. You put the loop over the knot, and now it's tight. And that's it. I'm going to let him go. And come back over here. Give me another pull. I'm going to do this again. Some people have mentioned when you take your rope or a gunny sack, you're going to do the same thing, but you only twist it once on the horse's feet. So in case they really get in a bind, they can get out of the hobbles. I'll show you how to do that. Turn around. Set him up to fail for me. If his feet are spread real far apart and you're trying to hobble, take your rope and get it ready, but don't try to move the foot that you have the rope on. It never works. Just get your rope ready, pick up the other foot, and put it where you want it. Don't get frustrated if it's not close enough. If you're twisting and you don't have enough slack, they're not going to move the foot that you have the rope on because they know that that foot is hobbled. So you pick up the other foot and just get it where you want it that's close enough. Do your twists. And you can do just 1 or 2 twists if you're worried and you want them to be able to get out of it. But just know that they can get out of that. So I always just twist it to where there's some slack in there, but I have enough slack here. Again, you just go around. Here's your knot. I like having this little tail because it helps me get my knot through my loop. And that's it. And he's hobbled. I'm going to show you the leather hobbles. This is the kind of traditional kind. I keep these on my saddle. Those of us that like tradition, this is very traditional cowboy hobbly type, but they're harder to get on. They take a little longer. They're much shorter. You've got a leg and a leg, and you only have this much room in between their legs. So if they don't know how to hobble, this is much more constricting. If you have a very athletic horse like Drifter, he could lope from here to Texas in hobbles. So this kind of stops him from being able to cover as much ground, and I'll show you how to use these. So these have a buckle, and you undo your buckle. Mine's been used so much it's bent. And you have this loop. This is why they take a little bit longer, because they feed through and make another loop. So you have to give yourself slack here and actually pick up a foot. You pick up their foot, and when you're doing your hobbling, don't get yourself back up. Don't get yourself in some strange position where you're up here in front of them and they could knock you with their knee. Get yourself in a normal, safe position to hobble. Take your time. You're going to pick up that off foot. You have to put the hobble on it, and now you have that foot. Then you pull your slack out, and it's on his ankle, and you put the strap around through the buckle. But see here, that's why these take a little longer. You have to buckle it and get them attached and on there. And you see how very little slack you have in the middle. So a horse that's never been hobbled, this is much, much more confining, and they may go down on their knees or they may fall a little bit. I use these trail riding because the horses I'm on usually already know how to hobble, and because they stay on my saddle real good. But that's a different kind of hobble. You can either use that kind or not. This horse could lope off with them, and he's very athletic. So that's pretty much the different kinds of hobbles and how to make hobbles with a piece of rope. That's the easiest way to get them on, get them off. Here we put them on and off all day long, so I like the ones that are quick on, quick off. There's plenty of videos out there on how to teach them how to hobble, but if you'd like me to show that too, just let me know. And I think that's it. Good luck.